Yes, good afternoon, Bruce Kirkland from the Toronto Sun, and a question for Woody Allen. It seems that the only happy people in this movie by the end are slightly crazy, and they are, of course, the future Mr. and Mrs. Wunsch, a lovely name, and they're the ones who don't believe that you may even need happiness in the present life. So everyone else seems to be left miserable, and I'm curious if this is, if you are being playful with this, or if this is a serious comic commentary on what life looks to you at this point.
This is my perspective, and has always been my perspective on life. I have a very grim, pessimistic view of it. I always have since I was a little boy. It hasn't gotten worse with age or anything. I do feel that it's a grim, painful, nightmarish, meaningless experience, and that the only way that you can be happy is if you tell yourself some lies and deceive yourself. And I'm not the first person to say this, or the most articulate person on it. It was said by Nietzsche, it was said by Freud, it was said by Eugene O'Neill. One must have one's delusions to live. If you look at life too honestly and clearly, life does become unbearable, because it's a pretty grim enterprise, you will admit. So I do feel that those two people are the only two people that are happy. They are capable of deluding themselves. They live. If I saw them at a party in real life, I would think that they were foolish people and dumb and silly, and I would laugh at them, but they would be happier than me. So that is the way I feel about it, and we can discuss this privately later.
The date on that video was, I believe, 2010. I don't know if Woody Allen is still alive. I haven't even looked. I don't even know what movie that was from. But I found that pretty interesting. Never seen that before. I have, as an adult, have always harped on the negative. I've always saw what was wrong. And this, of course, according to spiritual teachers, is why negative things keep happening to me. That I am creating my reality through my thoughts and my beliefs. And that might be true. But let's consider, just for a moment, that Woody Allen is at least partly right. He clearly has a very pessimistic view of life. Well, if you look at life, what do you see? You see disease and death. You see suffering all over the world. Murder, rape, torture, kidnapping, theft, beating people up, hospitalizing people. People in hospitals because they've been beaten, but people because they need surgery, people who die in surgery, people who've been beaten up and now are hospitalized because they've been beaten so badly. Children, adults, doesn't matter. If all you did was read all of the horrible things that humans have done to each other, you would conclude that life is just an awful, horrible thing. And in many ways it is. He's right. You got to put your head in the sand to deny that reality. You've got to stick your head in the sand and go, oh, life is just wonderful and beautiful. And yet, I also agree with these spiritual teachers who say we're creating that reality because that's what we believe. And so the world is simply reflecting our collective consciousness. I could go as far as to say the reason America has Trump now is because America's collective consciousness created the reality where the worst possible person became president. I'm curious if there's anyone out there who watches this video who is still a Trump supporter after all of the horrible, disgusting things that man has said and done. Because if you still support that man, you're insane. Anyone Is anyone who sees this video, if you're a Trump supporter, feel free to make your case. Tell me why you are, and tell me why he's good. He's the worst president we've ever had. He's despicable. And all of the evidence now, you can't seriously still support this man. There can't be any person in their right mind who still supports that man. But let's forget about that. What if we are the cause of our reality? See, the spiritual stuff, as I'm itching my nose again, the spiritual teachings that I keep watching on YouTube tell me that I'm creating my reality. You're creating your reality. We each individually are creating this. Neville Goddard taught this. Imagination creates reality. That which you believe to be true will continue to be true for you. I know people who are way more negative than me. They're always complaining about everything, and bad things keep happening to them. And I've now come to agree that we are the creators of our reality. And I'll tell you what finally has caused a shift for me. I said this in a video before. I think I've said it a couple times. I was tripping on LSD with my girlfriend, my then girlfriend, years ago, like 4 years ago, maybe, not that long ago. I had never done LSD before in my life. Did it with her about 6 times in the time that we were together. I think it was the first time I was tripping on it. Maybe it was the third time. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. We did it about 6 times. We took it like once every 2 months or something like that. You don't take it that often because you just don't. But you can't OD on it. I looked into it. It really is safe. Just don't do it alone. That's the only issue. And I did it alone one time, and I've talked about that. I told that story. The robot from Lost in Space came and saved me. It's quite hilarious. Literally, danger. I saw him in my mind, and he was going, danger, and I'm like, what do I do? It's hilarious. But the robot saved me, and that's I'm forever grateful to the robot. I'm serious. I really believe that did happen, that he did show up and save me from myself, because I was caught in an endless loop. Anyway, on LSD, tripping on LSD, lots of people have had epiphanies. I had an epiphany. I had a moment of clarity that shook me to my core, and I didn't know what to make of it until just recently. And I said out loud, oh my God, I am responsible for 100% of everything that's happened to me. And the moment I said it, I said to myself, I'm saying, how could that be true? How is it possible that I can be 100% responsible for everything that's happened to me? There's circumstances in life, circumstances outside of my control are always happening. I can't be more than 90% responsible, right? I mean, that's taking responsibility. I'm at least 90%, maybe 95%. But I'm not responsible for what other people do. If a drunk driver crashes into my car, I'm a victim of circumstances. We all are. And this has always been what I've held to. And when I was seeing a psychiatrist at one point, getting on meds, which actually worked for me because I suffered from depression and mood swings. And Depakote and Zoloft stabilized me. I couldn't believe it. I didn't like that it stabilized me because that meant I needed meds to be stable. I did not like that at all. I did not want to think that there was actually something wrong with me. Regardless, he agreed with me when I said, we're all victims of circumstances. He goes, I agree, but what do you want to do about that? And I went, oh, well, I guess you're right. I can't do anything about that. Exactly. He says, all you can do is deal with it. Well, now LSD just gave me this vision in my head that I couldn't believe, and I said it out loud. Oh my God, I am 100% responsible for everything that's happened to me. And up until just recently, I've never fully understood why I said that, but yet I knew it was true, but I didn't know how it could be true. And I would say to Woody Allen right now, if he were here, Woody, you have created all the circumstances in your life, everything that's happened to you that you hate. And he would say, no, 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 that's just how life is. That's how it is for everybody. It's everything he just said. He's right. But it's only that way because of our thoughts. Jennifer Lopez said this once. I heard her speaking to a group of people. And she said something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing now. Fill your mind with nothing but positive thoughts all the time. Only think positive things and say positive things every day. She said that to a group of people. Have you ever seen Jennifer Lopez not happy? She's always smiling. She's always happy. Look at Eckhart Tolle. He lives in a state of bliss. So I said to myself the other day, a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago, I don't remember exactly, it doesn't matter. If I'm 100% responsible, if that's true for everything that happens to me, then that means I'm 100% in control of everything that happens to me. And I went, wait a second, now hold on. Neville Goddard said, you can have anything you want in life. Anything. All you have to do is believe that you already have it. If I'm 100% responsible for everything that happens to me, and you are for everything that happens to you, then that means we are also 100% in control of everything that happens to us. We have to be. If we're responsible for it, we have to be in control of it. So from this day forward, I'm trying to not have negative thoughts, and I'm trying to stop myself when I do. I'm trying to think positive things. Because if I'm 100% responsible, then I'm 100% in control. And if I'm 100% in control, then that means I can create the life that I want simply by thinking and believing. I don't think anything else is required. Actions follow, as what Neville would say, the bridge of incidents that you will be sent down. But I'm creating that bridge of incidents. I must be. So while what the little man just said, God, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. It doesn't matter. What he just said is true. If you look around, it's horrific what's going on in this world. Not just in America. There are at least half the world's population is living in abject poverty. I think at least half. There's a charity out there called Charity Water that's trying to dig wells in all the third world countries so they have clean drinking water, because they don't have clean drinking water. So he created this charity, this guy who was living a jet set life prior to this, and he ended up on a mercy ship, and he saw all the suffering, and he couldn't believe how horrific it was for these people, and his heart broke. I forget his name. The charity is called Charity Water. He's been interviewed. He's been on TV. He lives in New York. He's got a wife and kids. And he's bringing clean water to the world. And that's his goal. They've reached 1% of their goal in 10 years. 1%. I forget how many people he's brought clean water to. But if we are creating our reality, or should I say, if we are causing our reality, then that means we can create any reality. I believe that the world should be living in paradise, that we should all be living in paradise, that we should all be healthy. Wim Hof makes you healthy. I just did a video about Wim Hof. We should all be living in abundance. There's literally no reason for poverty anymore. Look into that. You'll see that I'm right about that. Scarcity no longer exists. That's a myth. Scarcity used to exist, and it still does exist in many parts of the world. It shouldn't. We have had the resources and the technology for at least 50 years to create a world where every single person lives in abundance. There is no reason for anyone to live in poverty anymore. It's only happening because of the way we are going about our business, the actions that we are taking collectively as people. There are many nations right now doing wonderful things. I see posts on Facebook all the time of all these amazing things that these countries are doing. Norway, Sweden, Germany, Japan, the inventions, the technology, the technological breakthroughs. It's unreal, all these things that are happening. So this should be paradise, but it's not. And we're the reason it's not. And I'm the reason my life is the way it is right now, and you're the reason your life is the way it is right now. Now, I can't explain how we could be 100% responsible. So I'm responsible for no drunk drivers run into me. For the drunk driver that ran into me, plowed into my car, that's never happened to me. But if it would happen, if it does happen, I could have prevented that. If I'm 100% responsible for everything that happens to me, then yeah. Isn't that nuts? Yet I know on LSD, I knew that was the truth. It revealed it to me. I had this moment and I couldn't believe that I just said what I said. And for the last couple of years, I don't understand. I still might not be right. Maybe that isn't the case. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I'm not 100% in control. But if I am, then I ought to at least try to see what I can do. What do I have to lose? I don't like a lot of things about life, and I don't like where my life is heading because I don't see a bright future, but I can imagine a bright future. The future I imagine is phenomenal. Well, if I can imagine a phenomenal future, then why can't that become my future? And if that can become my future, then that can become your future. That can become our future collectively. And in other words, paradise on earth is not only achievable, it should be the ultimate goal of our existence, to create paradise on earth. Imagine if we did that. Imagine if we created paradise on earth for every single person on this planet. That means when we die, all those who are still here will all be living in paradise, and all they have to do is maintain that paradise, and their children will grow up in paradise, and their children will grow up in paradise, and it will just go on forever. Why would you ever lose paradise once you've achieved it? Could that happen? I don't know. Why don't we achieve it, and then let's see what happens from there? Why don't we make a collective decision to come together for the benefit of everyone, instead of being selfish and just saying for the benefit of myself? Now, Neville Goddard said the best thing you can do for the world is work on yourself. I'll go 50% with that. I don't think he's wrong, that working on myself, working on yourself, benefits everyone. I think we all benefit when we all work on ourselves to be better than we are, to be a better human being. That means trying to be more intelligent, more wise, more kind, more loving, more sincere, more genuine, more discreet, more discerning, more knowledgeable, more patient, more understanding, everything, every aspect of our humanity. If we try to improve that collectively, and are we ever going to all do it? No. We have some of the most horrific thinking human beings on this planet who think things that would make us all feel like throwing up. The book I was just trying to read by Sam Harris, that first chapter just made me want to throw up. It was so sick. And that might be part of the reason I stopped reading it, because I couldn't stomach what those people did. I don't know how we human beings can become that evil, but we have. There's many examples. I don't need to name the names. And just think about all the ones that nobody knows anything about. Think about before technology even existed, all of the horrific things that humans have done to each other. The countless things that we have no knowledge of and never will, probably. Well, that's not true. I still think that someone's going to figure out how to view the past. That's what I call time travel. It's viewing the past. I could be totally wrong about this, but just think about it for a moment. If somebody figures out how to view the past, not interact with it, just view it. Every time we watch anything on TV, anything on YouTube, that's in the past. That happened in the past. And you can watch it anytime you want. It will never change. It's what happened. So you're viewing the past right now. Every time we watch YouTube, we are viewing the past. Every time we watch a movie, a TV show, anything, we are viewing the past. Imagine if you could view the past anytime you wanted, anything, any point in time, any place. I'm amazed somebody hasn't turned this into a movie. H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, if you've never seen The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, watch it. It's really cool. But imagine now that guy's time machine that you see him in, and all he's doing is viewing. He can't get out of it. He can't interact with it. All he can do is watch. And those who he's watching can't see him. He's out of phase. If that ever happens, if anyone ever figures that out, all privacy will end. All crime will end. You will not commit a crime because you can't get away with it, because it's on tape. Well, imagine if everything's on tape. That means everything you've ever done could be viewed by someone at any point. That should chill you to your bone. I think that's going to happen. I think that's might be the catalyst that creates paradise on earth, because now you can't get away with anything. Nobody can. It's impossible to get away with anything if we can view the past. Hey, don't say anything. Just go. Oh, crap, we can't do that. I'm going to kill. Oh, crap, I can't do that. All crime and all privacy are gone. Oh, are we going to have sex tonight, honey? Well, if you want everybody watching, nobody's going to watch. Well, you don't know that. Imagine that world. Now, for anyone who's watching right now, I hope you're having fun. Come on. It gets a little silly after a while. But why can't we view the past? Why isn't it possible? What if it is? What if it is possible and somebody actually figures out how to view the past? Oh my God. It's just a guess on my part. That may not have anything to do with anything. Paradise might only come because we evolve into better, higher, more enlightened human beings. We become more spiritually minded. We become more enlightened, more benevolent. Surely there must be enlightened, benevolent beings somewhere in this universe who are millions of years further along than we are, who could come here and save us right now. Oh, if only that would happen. Maybe that's how it will happen. Maybe enlightened beings will finally show up. Some people will think it's Jesus. Maybe it will be. Maybe Jesus is part of a collective consciousness of spiritually enlightened beings, and they're coming back. And as Robin Williams said, and oh, is he pissed off when he comes back. That was a fun dialogue of Robin Williams describing the return of Christ. First person he's going after, Jerry Falwell. Where's that? Cracked me up. I loved it. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. I saw the... why am I blanking on his name? I really liked him as an actor. I loved The Curse of the Jade Scorpion. It was a crazy movie. I think it was called Bananas or something like that, where he woke up like 3,000 years later. He was asleep. It was a hilarious movie. It's a silly movie, but it's really fun. Woody Allen. God, I'm just blank on Woody Allen. I think it's called Bananas. Curse of the Jade Scorpion is a very cool movie, actually. And maybe that's the movie he was talking about. I don't think so, but I don't remember. But what do you think? Is he right? Is he wrong? Am I right that our thoughts are creating our reality? Am I right that we're 100% responsible and therefore 100% in control? Because if we're 100% responsible, then we must be 100% in control. Which means Neville Goddard was right. You can have anything you want in this life. That's good news. Well, when I take over the world and I'm your king, just remember, I warned you, it was coming. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.